Bible readers. I'm painting. Let's take a little break from painting and read the Bible. Okay, we're in Matthew 16. One day the Pharisees and Sadducees came to test Jesus, demanding that he show them a miraculous sign from heaven to prove his authority. He replied, "You know the saying, red sky at night means fair weather tomorrow. Red sky in the morning means foul weather all day. You know how to interpret the weather signs in the sky, but you don't know how to interpret the signs of the times? Only an evil, adulterous generation would demand a miraculous sign. But the only sign I will give them is the sign of the prophet Jonah." And then Jesus left them and went away. He had been doing miracles. Later, after they crossed to the other side of the lake, the disciples discovered they had forgotten to bring any bread. "Watch out," Jesus warned them. "Beware of the yeast of the Pharisees and Sadducees." The Pharisees and Sadducees were the pious, holier-than-thou religious leaders of the Jewish community. Then at last they understood that he was speaking the yeast and bread, not about the yeast and bread, but about the deceptive teaching of the Pharisees and Sadducees. We're supposed to beware false prophets, false teachers, people who twist the Bible for itching ears. When Jesus came to the region of Caesarea Philippi, he asked his disciples, "Who do people say that the Son of Man is?" "Well," they replied, "some say John the Baptist, some say Elijah, and others say Jeremiah or one of the prophets." And then he asked them, "But who do you say that I am?" That is the question of your whole life, Who is Jesus? If he's either the Lord, a liar, or a lunatic. Yeah. "Who do you say that I am?" Simon Peter said, "You are the Messiah, the Son of the living God." Jesus replied, "You are blessed, Simon, son of John, because my Father in heaven has revealed this to you. You did not learn this from any human being. Now I say to you that you are Peter, which means rock." He was called Simon. Now Jesus said, "I'm going to call you Rock. And upon this rock, I will build my church." So the Catholics think that Jesus said, upon Peter, he will build a church. Protestants think he means upon Peter's faith. Jesus is called the rock a lot. Now I say to you, you are Peter, and upon this rock, because they were talking about his faith, "I will build my church, and all the powers of hell will not conquer it. And I will give you the keys of the kingdom of heaven. Whatever you forbid on earth will be forbidden in heaven, and whatever you permit on earth will be permitted in heaven." Then he sternly warned the disciples not to tell anyone that he was the Messiah, because it wasn't time. Because when they started finding out, he would be crucified. "I'll give you the keys, and whatever you do on earth." I'm going to chew on that for a while. From then on, Jesus began to tell his disciples plainly. He began to predict his death to them, that it was necessary for him to go to Jerusalem, that he would suffer many terrible things at the hands of the elders, the leading priests, and the teachers of religious law. He would be killed, but on the third day he would be raised from the dead. So he began to tell them that this was going to happen. But Peter took him aside and began to reprimand him, saying such things. "Heaven forbid, Lord," he said, "this will never happen to you." Jesus turned to Peter and said, "Get thee behind me, Satan. You are a dangerous trap to me. You are seeing things merely from a human point of view, not from God's. So, then Jesus said to his disciples, if any of you wants to be my follower, you must give up your own way. Take up your cross and follow me. If you try to hang on to your life, you will lose it. But if you give up your life for my sake, you will save it. And what do you benefit if you gain the whole world but lose your own soul? Is anything worth more than your soul? For the Son of Man will come with his angels in the glory of his Father and will judge all people according to their deeds. So you could think, oh, that means if you're good, you go to heaven. But no, because if you read all the Bible, only Jesus' righteousness can save us. And so the deed that he will judge is, did you believe in me? And then there's another judgment where he judges the believers on their works, good works and bad works. And I tell you the truth, some standing here right now will not die before they see the Son of Man coming in his kingdom. So I think he means the that thing when he went up into heaven. Okay, chew on that.